Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good night, everybody. I think we all come from different part of the world. This is RJ. We have been meeting each other over LinkedIn, and probably this is the first time we see each other in person. And this is the first time I do it this LinkedIn Live. I hope we can do it smoothly. Please pray for us. And this session is mainly to share some of my knowledge because I have made enough mistakes, learned enough learned enough troubles to in the whole process, and I hope this session can help you. And we're also looking for some new partners to join our CapFiX commodity platform. Okay, this is a 30 minutes job. I'll keep my session sharing very brief so that we have more time for you to ask questions. I'll try my best to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I will try to find out for you. All right. Okay, let me first start with introducing who is CapFiX and myself. All right. Okay, a bit of my background. I come from the corporate world. I've been in the corporate world for about 30 over years, and we're in the corporate C-level. My last position was a chief operating officer from a corporate company and based in Indonesia. Right, and in the corporate world, maybe you heard about mission buyout, and this is the best, the highest level employee will hope to. You participate with a group of management and buy over the share from a company, and you become your own boss. So I have the opportunity to become that. And then we grow the business, and we sold the business to Wipro. Wipro is a billion-dollar company from India. They bought us, and then the good news is we get quite a good of money. The bad news is we lost our share, right? That was 2005, right? Since then, I turned to become the entrepreneur, right? I cash out my shares, sold my shares, collect my money, fly back to Malaysia and start my own business. So it's been probably 7 years ago, right? And then during the time and up to now, I have accumulated 30 years of boardroom and hands-on FMCG market experience. FMCG means fast-moving consumer goods, right? And sugar is precisely fall into this category. And in my work, I like to apply common sense. A lot of things are just common sense. We just make things too complicated, right? We find a niche. In the FMCG market, I learned something. We must always find our niche, build our brand, and then we keep things simple and play with our strength. And this is precisely what I share with you and how CapFiX manage this sugar business. And a little bit on CapFiX. CapFiX commodity platform, right? Recently, we have just added 4 powerful upgrades. In the past, we are merely connecting buyer and seller. Our job as a CapFiX is screen the buyer so that we can present a genuine buyer to our sellers. In our seller platform, we have about 4 to 5 sellers in our platform, and we intend to maintain every time 5 all the time so that we can give different variety to suit different buyers' needs. Sometimes because of the payment term, sometimes because of pricing, sometimes because of the port of payment. So we match to the most compatible suppliers. And in the last 2 months, we have added few features to our platform. Right? First of all, is with the fin trade, means we will help our buyers to issue SPLC and DLC. We noticed that a lot of buyers have a problem to issue this instrument. Therefore, they cannot proceed to buy. Therefore, we have this facility now. We also have the Trade Talk. So we can go back to the Trade Talk. We offer speaker, right? If you need industry speaker, we have a speaker in our platform that we can share our views. And recently, we have this commodity AI, right? We had to move together with the technology. So we are connect AI player to our trading commodity players. CapFiX Capital is our motto, and this is the end game. Whatever we achieve from the commission from the selling of connecting the buyer and seller, the commission is always just too dependent and subjective. We need to convert it into passive income. Right? This one will help we will pull together our commission together, invest in the asset classes, and get a passive income. And beneath all these facilities and all this initiative, we offer mentorship just to create so that everybody in the same book and everybody can work along with each other better. Next. Okay. You may notice that today I'm focused on only sugar, right? Sugar is very important, as based on my studies, this is the almost probably one of the top commodity that we can receive daily inquiries. And you had the opportunity to sell 12,500 minimum tons a month, and one order, you can get a 12 months contract. So this is perfect. So our time is well spent. Just imagine as an intermediary or facilitators, you just get $1 commission, you will get about 12,000 US dollar per month commission. So this is easy said than done, that a lot of challenges. And this is precisely today's focus. How do we address those challenges? Okay, this is what we're going to do tonight, maybe your morning. We talk about 5 biggest reasons sugar deals fail. Then only we can develop the strategies and how to overcome them. Why buyers must qualify first, not dictate terms. Right? In time, we tend to have a lot of soft spot for the buyer. Then it makes our life very, very miserable. I will talk about more. How sellers think and what they actually wanted. This we must know. They are our paymaster. We must know what they really want. Real talk on payment terms and banks. This is all very important. This is the single most important thing decide the success and failure of a deal. And then we summarize it, and I will present my proposal, right? My strategies on how you can minimize the sugar deal from failures. And the last one will be some hidden mistakes even experienced intermediaries will make. Okay, I've done a quick poll in the last 3 days, right? In the left, you see the start in the 41%. There's a poll I gathered from the last 3 days poll from all the LinkedIn friends. And the other side will be based on our internal statistic, right? Because we have about 20 CapFiX Global Partners in 17 countries. We gather all the challenges, all the feedback from the team. And then I compare between the pool and the team statistic. The top 3 are quite similar, right? Even though the ranking for second and third slightly different. The most number one killer is too many intermediaries. Right? It's not about the seller. It's not about the buyer. It's about too many intermediaries. I think this is more on the time that when we have too many people in one group and we do not know each other. We all have different cultural background, different learning experience. We form our own different experience and judgment. And therefore, there are a lot of argument. In fact, in my early years of sugar trading, I almost spent every night arguing with the mandates or arguing with the fellow intermediaries, not even on the business. So this is one thing that rightly pointed out by the post result. Second thing is buyer uses weak bank. This is true, right? As an intermediary, sometimes we wanted the sales to go fast. We just accept any bank the buyer use. But then we have a big problem when it comes to the banking validation time, where the receiving bank do not accept the instrument from the bank, and you wasted probably 2-3 months time. So this is very sad. We need to be very clear from the stage 1, and no past performance record. This is also very rare. Today, I just couldn't proceed with one order just because of this. My buyer is very genuine from China. Probably you know, right? They're very genuine, but they have the internal control. They just cannot pass this stage. If they make any mistake, their head will roll. Therefore, the risk is still too high for them to take. Therefore, it becomes a very, very major problem for us. 4 or 5 will be like buyer modify the seller exposure. This is where we have all the argument. The sequence, the SOP, can do this or not, can we have this or not, always. The payment term not acceptable. This one is also because of the buyer side. Sometimes they cannot provide the instrument that they want. All other contributing issue are like no buyer did not issue instrument. After all the talking, all the discussion, they do not issue the instrument. You back to square one. Nothing happened, right? And the worst case will be seller delays performance, right? This is the worst for us as intermediaries or facilitators because our reputation is at risk. The buyer come to us, they do not know the seller, they only know us. So they will blame us sometime, right? So we need to be very, very upfront. How do we manage this situation, right? Otherwise, you be seen as conspiration with the seller together. Okay, yeah, next. Okay, why buyer must qualify first, right? We cannot just simply accept buyer. I know we want a business, but we can just accept because you were just wasting your time, right? We need to be very, very hard in this case. Buyer often try to control the process without showing financial capacity. This is very, very happen. And we as an intermediary, sometimes we allow that because we do not want them to go away. We wanted them to stay and hope the deal will happen, right? So how do you qualify them, right? What happened now? There are a lot of proxies. Even the buyer from China, they claim they have a big SOE company, but a lot of them are good, just proxy. Good stories, no money. We must recognize these facts. Okay? Therefore, in the LOI, we must always ask the buyer to indicate what is the name of the bank that they use for this transaction. Just imagine if in the LOI, they cannot even tell you which bank they're going to use, you know this intermediary is either too far from the seller or this is not a serious buyer, right? Some seller wanted the POF, proof of fund, very early stage, right? But again, buyer will argue with you, why should I give you? Even I do not know who the seller is. So there's always the dilemma. The best thing for me is move them quickly to MT799 stage, right? Where let the bank talk to each other. That's the best time to meditate. One thing for sure, seller always prevails. Don't argue with the seller. Don't waste time, right? Okay. Next. Okay. What do the sellers think and what they actually want? This is very important, right? Without them, nothing happens. Okay. What they prioritize, number one, real buyers. When they say real buyer means buyer with real money, they have money, right? Don't talk about how big the company is. Do they have money now to buy? This is more important. And with strong bank, right? If this is not a top 100 bank, don't waste your time. Even though deep in our heart, we want to get and make a barrier entry easier, let more buyer can come in. But you just come in, you just have more workload, but nothing will happen. Okay. We must see them have clear intention to buy. Is it sometimes the buyer take a long time to even issue the ICPO or signing the SPA back? Then you know this is a clear indication something is happening at the background. They may not be the real buyer. Okay? And then they want the buyer to respect their procedures, right? Why? Initially, we thought it's just bureaucracy, right? They want everything follow their term. But believe me, if you don't follow their term, nothing happens, right? We need to explain to the buyer, please, read the procedure. If you don't accept, don't join, don't come in. Otherwise, you will end up wasting your time and our time. And buyer one, seller one payment assurance, definitely, right? Therefore, they want certain instruments, right? Next. Okay, now on the payment terms and banks. Okay, here, a lot of time we tend to wanted the deal to go through. So we tend to accept, okay, fine, private bank will do, even in private in your country will do. But the reality is, when it comes to the bank validation time, we have a lot of problem. Because the receiving bank, they need to validate our buyer and also validate the bank they use. And this process will take a long time, easily minimum, if it goes smoothly, 1 month. If you're not lucky, few months, right? And we have instances where during last year, we have the problem with the geopolitical issues, right? We have the instrument issued by the bank, the buyer. It took 1 year to argue with each other, tracing the instrument where they are, but we never give up. Why? Everybody hope that the deal will eventually happen, but it didn't. This is the sad part of us as an intermediary or us as a middle person. We hope things will happen, but it won't. So we need to see what's in front of us very clearly, very objectively, right? So use top 100 bank and use secure instruments. Next. Okay, having said it, so what do we do about the five challenges? Okay, the first one, before you do anything, first you must find a reliable and competitive seller. If you get this one right, 60% home, right? It's so important, but easy said than done. It's very difficult to get. Even outside in a CapFiX commodity platform, we always maintain 5 suppliers at all time, suitable for different requirement for the buyers. But we still have to continue to do our due diligence. Once we found a seller which is not up to our standard, we'll move them away and replenish with a new supplier. So this is our job. Keep the due diligence going and going every day, right? And what about the challenge of top too many intermediaries? Okay, this is the number one challenge that the poll and the statistics show, right? My recommendation is hopefully you just stick to only maximum 1 mandate. You have more down the line, you never close a deal, never. You just attended many sessions of Zoom, burn your midnight oils, nothing happened. And most likely, a lot of argument, right? Try to ask from the very upfront, are you the mandate? Not mandates down line, are the mandate. Even the mandate, sometimes they have some problem. Some mandate are more friendly, some are no, so they have problems. So try to at least keep the line short. Okay, buyer uses weak bank. I think you need to be very clear from day one, right? When you receive the minute you have the LOI, ask them, what's the name? Put down the name of the bank in the LOI. And it has to be top 100 bank. Most of the seller will ask for top 25 or top 50, but I think they will still accept top 100. So 200 is a minimum, no others, okay? No past performance, what do we do? This is the biggest problem. Even me have problem to deal with this issue. But I think you can either walk away politely, hopefully that the buyer will come back to you next time because they think you're helpful and polite and you try to work, right? And but I think one thing you can do really is if you cannot convince the buyer, at least you offer some solution. This solution, it works, but it all depends on the buyer and the seller that you have, okay? You offer the container trial with 30% payment at loading port and 70% upon arrival. This is by far the most balanced, counter proposal to close a deal. Because number one, even the buyer wanted 100,000 metric tons, right? You ask them to forget about it. Right now, if you do not accept the past, there's no past performance and you cannot have any record to justify that and your head will roll, you start small, just a container. But some sellers do not offer container trial. So you're stuck there. So it depends on your luck, whether you have, okay, that container, the seller that accept the container. In our platform, we do have seller that although their MOQ is 12,500 and above, they do accept trial at container level. You start with 30 to 70% payment. You build the trade record. You had a BL. Then the buyer can show their end buyer. Therefore, they can buy in bigger quantity in more confidence. Okay. SOP modification. Okay. Not aligned. Don't proceed, please. We need to work slightly behind the schedule. Before you go to LI, you let us see your seller's procedure. Most likely, you already have the procedures with you. But please read the procedure yourself. Not just forward straight to the buyer and ask them to read by themselves. Right? Please, we want to earn the commission. We must do our homework as well. Please study the procedure and understand. Therefore, you can explain to the buyer tactfully. Right? Sometimes they do not understand. They just rely on their intermediary and give that advice. And they sometimes are bad advice. So if you understand the procedures and you explain the rationale why, some buyer do listen, right? And the payment term not acceptable by the seller and buyer. The alternative is you use a financial, right? Sometimes the buyer wanted to buy, you just said you do not have the top 100 bank to issue the instrument. Therefore, you can go for the financial. And this is precisely why we have a new division, right? The FinTrade, where we offer to help to buyer to issue top 100 bank SPLC, right? We use the HSBC. So anybody want to have this facility, please contact us. Next. Okay, these are some of the mistakes that experienced intermediaries make. I do work with other experienced intermediaries because I need their help to look for more sellers or their help to get for more genuine buyers. But I noticed that the more we are into this industry, including myself, we start to develop impatience, right? Become cold-blooded. Okay? We had a take it or leave it attitude sometimes. It's bad. We forgot about how we started, right? How naive we are, how we want to protect our buyer. We've forgotten. So this is something that we should try not to forget, even when the next time you become an experienced intermediary. You build your own team, right? Sometimes the experienced intermediary take decision in their own hands, right? Without asking the seller, they decide certain things based on their own judgment. This sometimes happen, right? And this is where we make a lot of argument as well. No? The deal fell is not because of the seller. It's because been blocked by a so-called experienced intermediaries where they apply their own judgment. Nothing happened. Okay. We feel that we, as a community, we do not educate enough our buyers and fellow intermediaries. This is precisely why I start my sharing every day. You will notice my LinkedIn, right? At 12 o'clock midnight, my time, Malaysia time, you'll see my post. Shoot to the LinkedIn. I shared it for years already. One post a day. I share with what I learned the day, or I share with what I think my fellow intermediaries need to aware. Right? I think we lack of this sharing in the market. Therefore, it's like blind leading blind sometimes, right? Especially when you follow the unqualified mandate, I think it's destined for failure. So you must choose your mandate right. Go to the right platform to go for them. At least you increase the chances of success. You may not get success, at least you increase your chances of success. And a lot of them down to poor communication and follow-up. It's just simply poor communication. This is sad. No, it's nothing to do with seller and buyer. It's just pure poor communication.
Right,
Okay.
RJ, want to give you guys a heads up that we have 5 more minutes.
Oh, sorry, I take too much. I talk too long. All right. Okay. Just before I go, this one I have a mentorship. This one I think I will post it in the event page later, so that you can read, right? Okay. Next. Okay. Just very careful. We're very careful. There's a lot of scam. Whatever we do, you need to be careful with scam and over check your fellow with your fellow intermediaries and see whether the buyer is or the seller is the correct one. Okay, I know the session will close soon. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have talked so long, but can we just invite question now so that I can answer? Try my best to answer straight away.
Yes, if you guys have any questions, please send it in the chat. If not, it is fine. You can also send in the LinkedIn post as well, and we will follow up after.
Yes,
Yes.
you can always follow, post your question in the event page. Later, I will try to answer in the page so that everybody can see the answers and learn among each other.
Mhm. Yep, but it seems like we have no questions for now. I think people need to digest the information.
Okay. Yep. All
Yep,
right.
thank you
So
very
in this
much.
case, yeah. So I mean, you can always visit us at capfixasia.com. That's my LinkedIn. I'm sure you my LinkedIn now because that's how you see my events, right? Always connect with me, right? I share my posts, all my learning, honestly, every day, right? At 12 o'clock midnight my time, right? Just give a comment so that we all can learn together. And just now I didn't have time to talk about mentorship, right? Please later I have two mentor. Maybe can you go back to the mentorship award, please, Zoe? Since there's no question. Okay, there are two mentorship now. This only special rate up to 27 April, means Sunday this week. Okay. First session is group introductory mentorship. US $280 per person, 2 sessions, right? 1 session a week, 1.5 hours each. This will a group of people we learn together. I can't talk too much in this session because it's limited time, but at least I'll try to answer most of the questions that you have, some burning questions. Some of you would like to have a private session with me, right? Normally I'll charge 2,500 per month, right? For 1 month, for 3 months. But now I squeeze down to $880 per month for 2 months. What you will get is weekly 1 hour Zoom meets with me, right? I will share with you daily CapFiX team WhatsApp and email support. You can talk to us every day during the 2 months. We work together on the real deals. Either you have your own deals or we give you one prospective customer to follow up. We work on it together, right? And at the end of the mentorship, we will invite you to become our CapFiX Global Partners. As a global partners, you'll be receiving directly from me, team, daily market insights. And also you'll be given a group commission where you can arrange and share among your team members. I will guide you how to build your team. You cannot work with you alone, cannot. You must build a team so that you have the team to work together. And this precisely my mentorship will help you, right? If you don't join my mentorship, doesn't matter. Please follow me in the LinkedIn, right? I will try to share my knowledge every time. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. We are down to 3 more minutes. I think Rafiq said that he has a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have time? I think we have
Yes, we have 3 minutes. We can answer it.
3 minutes. Okay. Yep. Who's question? This one, is it?
Yep, just from
The
Rafiq.
buyer want to visit the sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah, if a buyer wants to visit the stock of sugar, mostly the
Mm.
sellers are not agreeable for the buyer to visit at factory or the warehouse.
Yes. Sorry, so what's the question?
I think he is trying to ask, how do you address it? How do you go about this issue?
Okay. You see, we must always put ourselves in the seller's shoes. Why would seller open their warehouse to the world and let the whole world come to their warehouse to see, right? So this is not going to happen, right? We must accept the fact that no seller will allow you to go to the warehouse, and you must always remember the seller, in this case, most likely a trading company sitting outside of Brazil, or a Brazilian company or so-called shareholder or quota holder, they will collect stock from multiple refineries and group them together and send to the warehouse in the port, compound and send to you. So there's no way that you can go to the warehouse unless there's some refinery that just stand alone. Maybe they allow you to do so. but most of the time you won't be allowed to visit the warehouse of the seller.
Right, thank you very much, RJ. Vatsan, we are currently short of time. Can you please comment your question in the LinkedIn post and we will answer there? Otherwise, we'll reach out to you. I already have your email address, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, RJ, for your valuable insights. And as always, the rest of you can feel free to drop your questions in the LinkedIn post. We'll follow up. Have a great night and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.